Now we're going to talk about skid roads. Plan your skid roads before you cut the timber. A well-planned road system will have many benefits. One thing you need to remember too is if you are using gas well roads as skid roads, we can also run into different hazards. You should always contact the gas company before you utilize one of their roads. A good timber operator knows that planning is very essential when preparing for a timber operation. Planning should include knowing where your haul roads and your skid roads are going to be located. As for skid roads, we want to make sure that those roads are 15% slope or less, because we know the steeper the slope, the faster water runs down, and the faster the water runs, it also collects soil particles. And that, as you can see in this slide, most of the soil particles from up here are landing right down there in the landing area, and so now you have mud and silt in that area. So remember, the steeper the road, the more potential problems and the more reclamation work that you have in store for you. As we take a look at this photo, what is one of the first things you see? It doesn't look like this road system was planned very well. In fact, poor planning. These skid roads are way too close. And that'll also increase your erosion. And with proper planning, you wouldn't have needed to put a road in every 10 to 15 feet. Again, here's another pretty picture. Does this look like planning took place? Maybe it did, but it's not working out too well. Remember that you need to keep skid roads out of the streamside management zone as much as possible. If a skid road must be located in the SMZ, take all possible precautions to prevent sedimentation. So as we're looking at this slide, what do you see? One, the water and silt are running right down into a stream, and that's going to be causing problems. What could have been done to help alleviate some of these problems? Remember things such as silt fence, hay bales, and seeding and mulching. They may seem like a pain to do, or maybe they seem costly, but in the long run, you will be better off for having put in those prescriptions. So once you put in a skid road, it's very important to do maintenance to it as soon as possible and do this every day. So some of the things you should remember for your daily maintenance is to install temporary water bars every evening. Keep culvert heads clear and free of debris. Keep mud holes well drained. Don't allow the skid road to get entrenched. Keep berms knocked down and roads outsloped where possible. Just reclaim as you go, and you should forego a lot of the problems that you could have. Poles or truck mats can work very well in soft areas on skid roads. How many of you have ever seen a photo that looks like the one down in the lower right corner? I hope you haven't, but I'm sure some of you have. When a skid road gets too wet and soft, it's time to shut it down. Now this is a really pretty picture. This is not something that you would want to come in and work with on a day-to-day basis. And also, a landowner would not appreciate their jobs looking like this. So not only is it harder to control sediment, but working in bad conditions can also be hard on equipment.